separated from each other by large distances, so that the actual volume of molecules is negligible as compared to total volume of gas. Okay, suppose this is the container. Now in this container the gas molecules are there. The molecules are very far apart from each other. Okay, now we know that what is the volume of gas? The volume of gas is equal to the volume of container. Suppose the volume of container is V, but in this volume V, the main contribution is from this distance. This distance is very large. Okay, so this point is saying that the molecules are very far away from each other. Okay, and this distance is very large. So the volume of molecules can be neglected as compared to total volume of gas, because in the volume of gas the main contributing factor is the distance. Now the next point is the molecules are in the state of random motion. Okay, since the gas molecules are having some energy, that energy they derive from the temperature, okay, whatever room temperature is there, and the molecules are in the state of constant motion. Now what will happen when the molecules move? They will collide with each other, and also they will collide with the walls of the container. Now the next point is these collisions are perfectly elastic. Now elastic collision means when the molecules collide with each other, there is no loss of energy. Okay, total energy before collision and total energy after collision is same. So there is no loss of energy, but there can be redistribution of energy. For example, if two molecules are colliding, okay, now this molecule can transfer its energy to the second molecule, or the second molecule can transfer its energy to the first molecule. So they can transfer their energy, but the total energy remains constant. Now the next is, there are no forces of attractions or repulsions between the gas molecules. They move completely independent of each other. The pressure exerted by gas, we know pressure. What is pressure? It is the force exerted per unit area. So the pressure exerted by gas is due to its collisions on the walls of the container. So when the molecules strike the walls of container, they exert a force on the wall, and that force per unit area is the pressure. And the last point of this kinetic theory of gas is the average kinetic energy of gas molecules is directly proportional to absolute temperature, that is temperature in Kelvin. So when we increase the temperature, the kinetic energy of molecules will increase. Okay, the movement of gas molecules will increase, their collisions will increase, like this. So all these points explain the behavior of gases. All these points provide a theoretical basis for the gas laws. Why gas behave like this? So the explanation is this kinetic theory of gas. Now we are moving to the next topic. Okay, that is the last topic of this chapter. Behavior of real gas. That is deviation from ideal gas behavior. So in this section we are going to discuss what is an ideal gas, what is the meaning of a real gas, okay, what is the difference between the two types of gases, and why gases do not show ideal behavior, or what is the meaning of deviation from ideal gas behavior, that we are going to discuss here. Okay, a gas which obeys means follows the gas laws and gas equation. And what is the gas equation? PV is equal to nRT, that we discussed earlier. At all temperature and pressure is called an ideal gas. Okay, so what is the meaning of an ideal gas? A gas which strictly follows this equation. Now what is the meaning of follow this equation? The product of pressure into volume should be equal to number of moles into R into T, just like we do in mathematics. Left hand side should be equal to right hand side. Okay, so gas which strictly obeys this equation, all the gas laws, under all the conditions of temperature and pressure, whatever temperature is there, high low, whatever pressure is there, high low, that gas is known as ideal gas. But it is found that none of the gases do this. Okay, now whatever gases we have in reality that surround us, none of the gases follow this equation at all temperature and pressure. Gas can show ideal behavior only when temperature is high and pressure is low. Okay, means this is the condition that when the temperature is high, okay, and pressure is low, only under that condition a gas will follow that equation, or a gas will follow gas laws. Now, as temperature decreases, okay, suppose if I decrease the temperature and pressure increases, means reverse I am doing. Okay, a gas will follow this equation when the temperature is high and pressure is low. But suppose if we do the opposite, if pressure is high, if we increase the pressure of gas and if we decrease the temperature simultaneously, there are deviations from ideal behavior. So now, real or non-ideal gas. A gas which does not obey gas equation and gas laws at all temperature and pressure, okay, is known as non-ideal or real gas. A gas will show ideal behavior only when, what is the condition now? Temperature is high and pressure is low. So this is the required condition for a gas to show ideal behavior. Okay, all gases which known to exist, okay, I told you earlier that whatever gases around us, okay, whatever gases we see, they are all real gases. None of the gases show ideal behavior at all the temperature and pressure. However, if these gases are forced means if I keep the temperature of these gases high, if I keep the pressure of these gases low, okay, this condition if I put, these gases can be forced to obey this equation, or these gases can be forced to show the ideal behavior. So under normal conditions, these gases will not show ideal behavior. They are all real gases. But if temperature is high or pressure is low, these gases can show ideal behavior. Various scientists conducted experiments. Okay, suppose a gas is there. Now that gas is not showing ideal behavior. Okay, it means that gas is deviating from ideal behavior. Okay, now what is the magnitude of deviation? Some of the gases show larger deviations. Some of the gases show lesser deviations from ideal behavior. Okay, so he conducted several scientists conducted experiments, and now we have to prove them, or now we have to discuss them. Now, how to study the behavior of a real gas, or how to study the magnitude of deviation? So what we did, we plotted a graph between PV and T at constant temperature. Now this graph is of Boyle's law. This is an isotherm. If the gas is ideal, we'll get a straight line, okay, because PV is always constant. So if the gas is ideal, then we should get this type of graph that is shown by dotted line. But in real practice, when we plotted the graph for different types of gases, we got, now you see, for hydrogen and helium, okay, these are the increasing graphs, okay. And for carbon monoxide and methane, the curve first decreases and then increases. Okay, so it means that PV is not constant for these type of gases. For hydrogen and helium, as pressure increases, the value of PV also increases. But for carbon monoxide and methane, as pressure increases, the PV first decreases and then increases. It means these gases are deviating from ideal behavior, and this deviation is more, you can see this deviation is more when the pressure is high. When the pressure is low in this area, okay, now the curves are very close to this dotted line. So when the pressure is low, a gas can show ideal behavior, but as the pressure is high, the deviations also increase. Now one more graph is there. That graph is plotted between pressure and volume at constant temperature. This is also an isotherm. Okay, Boyle's law isotherm. Now There are two graphs. Now this dotted line shows the ideal behavior. Okay, so if the gas is ideal, we should get this type of graph. But when in reality the graph is plotted for any gas, we are getting this type of graph, which is shown by a solid line. Now these two lines are not coinciding. It means the gases are deviating from ideal behavior. And this deviation is more. You can see the distance between the two lines is more when the pressure is high. But when the pressure is less, okay, this deviation is also less. You can see. So a gas can follow ideal behavior when the pressure is low. But when the pressure is increasing or the pressure is high, the gases deviate from ideal behavior, and this deviation keeps on increasing. So this is all about the description of ideal gas and real gas. Now, how to measure this deviation? That what is the magnitude of deviation for a particular gas? This deviation is measured in terms of a quantity, and that quantity is known as compressibility factor. Okay, so if I want to measure the deviation for a gas, I have to calculate this quantity. This quantity is represented by Z, and this is basically a ratio of PV upon nRT. This is compressibility factor. Okay, if Z is 1, then PV will be equal to nRT. Okay, it means that gas is ideal. And if Z is not equal to 1, because this will happen, because none of the gas shows ideal behavior, PV is not equal to nRT. It means that gas is real gas. So by calculating the value of PV upon nRT, we can find out. Now the next is, we plotted a graph between Z and pressure. Now this Z is PV upon nRT. So this value and pressure is plotted. So this dotted line will show the ideal behavior, that is Z is equal to 1. Now above this line there is positive deviation. Okay. And below this line there is negative deviation. Okay. Now the first point, what we are observing. For gases like hydrogen and helium. Okay, now see the gases hydrogen and helium, we are getting the increasing graph. Z is always greater than 1. Okay, it means they are showing positive deviation from ideal behavior. Okay, so for some gases, if Z is more than 1, it means they are positive deviation. And what will conclude? It means that these gases are less compressible as expected from ideal behavior. Okay, so these gases are less compressible, means the intermolecular attractions in these gases are very less. The particles will not come close. Now for gases, now two more gases I have taken, carbon monoxide and methane. Now you can see the graph first goes down and then goes up. So Z is less than 1 initially. It means they will show negative deviation. Okay, and what is the meaning of negative deviation? It means that the gas is more compressible. Then ideal behavior. Yeah, more compressible than expected from ideal gas. Okay, so we can see that now graphs are the experimental values only. So we have seen that none of the gases shows the ideal behavior. The gases deviate, and this deviation is more when the pressure is high. When the pressure is low, the magnitude of this deviation is also very less. So this is all about the meaning of ideal gas, real gas, what is the meaning of deviation from ideal behavior, what is the meaning, how to measure this deviation and all. Now, why the gases deviate from ideal behavior? Yeah, what is the cause of deviation? Why we are not finding any ideal gas around us? Why the gases around us which exist, they deviate from ideal behavior, they are real gases. Okay. Now, what is the theoretical basis for the behavior of gas? The kinetic theory of gases. Okay. The theory which explains the behavior of gas is kinetic theory of gas. Now, there are two assumptions in kinetic theory of gas, okay, which are wrong. And since we are following kinetic theory of gas, so because of that we are following that. So we are not finding any ideal gas. So there are two faulty assumptions in kinetic theory of gas. The first one is the force of attraction between the molecules is negligible. Now this is the assumption according to kinetic theory of gas. The molecules are not having any attraction or repulsion between them, they move independently. And the second assumption is the volume occupied by gas molecules is negligible as compared to total volume of gas. Now these are the two main postulates of kinetic theory of gas. Now these postulates are valid only when the molecules are very far away from each other. Because according to this KTG, the molecules are very far away from each other. Now when the molecules are far away from each other, there will be no attraction. Since the molecules are very far away from each other, the total volume, now in this total volume, the main contribution will be from this distance. Okay, because less number of molecules are spread over to larger distance. Okay, so these two assumptions are valid because we are assuming that the molecules are very far away from each other. But suppose if pressure increases, okay, now Boyle's law says that if pressure is more, what will happen? The volume will decrease. Or temperature is low. Okay, suppose if pressure is more or temperature is low. Now in both these conditions, the volume of gas will decrease. And if volume of gas decreases, okay, now the next condition will be like this. Okay, now the molecules are closer to each other. Now when the molecules are very close to each other, okay, there will be forces of attraction. When the molecules are very close to each other, you cannot neglect the total volume occupied by gas molecules to the total volume of gas, because now this distance is not counting, because now this distance has decreased. So these two assumptions are valid because we are assuming that the molecules are very far away from each other. But if the pressure is more or temperature is less, okay, these two assumptions will fail because now the molecules will come close, and when the molecules come close, attractions start, the intermolecular distance is less now. Okay, so we have to think over this kinetic theory of gas and we have to correct it, because according to these two assumptions, if we consider these two assumptions as correct, will not get any ideal gas. So now what we have to do, we have to correct these two assumptions or these two postulates of kinetic theory of gas. Okay, now correction of deviation, that is van der Waals equation for real gas. Okay, now what is ideal gas equation? The ideal gas equation is PV is equal to nRT, but none of the gas is following this equation. So now what we are doing, we are correcting this equation. We are making corrections in this equation so that this equation can be followed by real gas also. Because whatever gases exist around us, they are real only. They will not obey this equation. So we are making corrections in this equation so that the equation is valid for ideal also and for real also. Now what are the corrections? The first correction is volume correction. Okay, we'll make some correction in the volume. Now when the gas molecules are very close, okay, so definitely when the gas molecules are very close, you cannot neglect the volume of molecules. Or we can say that the volume occupied by the molecules cannot be neglected in comparison to total volume of gas. It means, suppose this is the container. The molecules are not free to move in the entire volume V, but the molecules are restricted to a particular area only. So what is the corrected volume? Okay, this B is the correction factor. Okay, so this is the corrected volume, and what is this V? This V is the observed volume, whatever you are observing. And this equation is for 1 mole, but suppose if n moles of gas are there, so V minus NB. So this is corrected volume. So in this equation, instead of V, what will put? V minus NB. And the second correction is in pressure, because when the molecules are very close to each other, Okay, the intermolecular attractions will start, and if intermolecular attractions start, the magnitude of pressure changes. Because what is pressure? Okay, pressure is the, suppose this is the molecule. Pressure is the force exerted by a molecule on this wall of container. Okay, now if this molecule is alone, it is independent, it will exert full force. But suppose if this molecule is there, now what this molecule will do? It will attract this molecule. Okay, so this molecule, the first molecule, will collide with the wall with a lesser force. So when intermolecular attractions are there, the magnitude of pressure also changes. So what is the corrected pressure now? So corrected pressure is, this is the observed pressure or ideal pressure plus AN square upon V square. This N is number of moles, this V is the volume, and this A is the correction factor. Okay, so there are two correction factors, one is B and one is A. And these A and B are known as van der Waal constants. Now we'll combine these two corrections. So my final equation is okay, now this equation is van der Waal equation for real gases. Okay, now this equation is followed by all the real gases. This equation will be followed by the ideal gas also, because if the gas is ideal, this will be 0 and this will be 0. Okay, and here A and B are the van der Waal constants. So what is the significance of these constants? Van der Waal constant A measures the force of attraction between the gas molecules. So higher is the value of A, more will be the attractive forces between the gas molecules. And likewise, the van der Waal constant B measures the effective size of gas molecules. So this was all about the derivation of this van der Waal equation for real gas. Now we don't have the numerical problems based on this van der Waal equation. Okay, so only this derivation is there in our 11th class syllabus. So finally we can list the differences between ideal gas and real gas. These are the 4 important differences. It obeys gas laws at all temperature and pressure. It will obey gas law only when the pressure is low and temperature is high. And if reverse is there, it will deviate from ideal behavior. It obeys this equation PV is equal to nRT, and it obeys the equation P plus AN square upon V square into V minus NB is equal to nRT. This is van der Waal equation. Forces of attraction are negligible because it is based on kinetic theory that the molecules are very far away from each other. But here the forces of attraction are not negligible, especially when the volume is less. The molecules will come close. Likewise, the volume occupied by gas molecules is negligible as compared to total volume of gas. Okay, again it is based on that assumption. But here when the volume is less, you cannot neglect the volume. Okay, so this was all about the theory part in this states of matter chapter. That is the last topic of this chapter.